From your hometown news leader, WDBJ 7 continues.
Happening now, the fight to protect all of us from tainted medicine. It was 1 year ago that fungal meningitis killed 64 people nationwide, including a Salem man, and sickened hundreds, including a Roanoke County teenager. Tonight, what's being done to make sure this doesn't happen again? Watch number 21, Cave Springs' Zach Fouts play, and you might not realize he was hospitalized last fall with fungal meningitis he got from a tainted injection.
He's had issues, and we certainly hope that he seems to continue to get better and better, but he's not 100%.
Now a year later, Zach's dad says there are still no regulations on compounding pharmacies that make the drugs like the one he says made Zach sick.
You don't know unless you ask if you're getting an FDA-approved drug or not. And the drug that my son received, as well as 14,000 people across the country, was not an FDA-approved drug.
Fouts and Douglas Wingate from Salem both got a spinal steroid injection at Insight Imaging in Roanoke. The tainted medicine came from a Massachusetts pharmacy.
It's frightening.
What's frustrating for Fouts, the delays in Congress to get legislation passed to regulate compounding pharmacies. A bill passed the House but is stuck in the Senate, held up by Senator David Vitter, who's tied an Affordable Health Care Act amendment to it.
And now we have a senator whom is in it from a state that was not impacted directly that we know of with this past outbreak, holding up legislation over Obamacare that has really nothing to do with making compounded drugs safer for the public.
And of course, Fouts' son affected, and we should mention that Douglas Wingate died and the result of fungal meningitis. A sponsor of the bill in the Senate right now in Congress is Congressman Morgan Griffith from right here in Southwest Virginia. You were just back just moments ago. He walked in from Washington, D.C. We know you were instrumental in pushing this bill through the House. You're a co-sponsor of the bill. Tell us, where do you think this is going with the Vitter amendment when it comes to the Senate?
Well, I think it's just a matter of time. They've already passed to end cloture, so that's not an issue any longer, but it's just a matter of time. He continues to want to push his amendment forward. They may or may not vote on it, but I believe the bill will pass sometime next week, maybe 10 days, but I think it'll be next week that we'll see that bill pass.
You're hopeful it's going to pass. If the Vitter amendment is attached to it, though, the president will not sign it.
If the Vitter amendment is attached, the president will veto the bill, and that's unfortunate because we've been working very hard to reach a bipartisan, bicameral agreement on this. We got the FDA, senators, House members, Democrats and Republicans all to agree.
Compounding pharmacies operate pretty much like drug manufacturers. If this bill passes, will it provide enough oversight? What will it actually do?
I believe that it will. It makes the FDA clear on what they can do. It also makes it clear that they're to communicate with the state pharmacy boards as well, and I believe that they will give them plenty of direction and the ability to make sure this does not happen again.
Do you think, as a former Assembly member, that more needs to be done as well at the state level? Massachusetts, I know, has passed some laws where this compounding pharmacy is. Does Virginia need to do the same, do you think?
Well, I don't think so. I think that the Virginia laws are fine. Certainly they'd be welcome to do so, but I believe this federal law that will give the FDA clearance and make it clear what they can do, I think will take care of the problem.
In the meantime, as Mr. Fouts said, if you're having something done, should you ask then, is this FDA approved? Where is this coming from?
It never hurts to ask what the source of the drug or the medication is.
Congressman Griffith, just back from Washington, D.C., thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Chris.